Just a little bit of sweet welcome y'all in music here. I'm Jay. Susan will be here any moment.
Thanks, Jay.
Well, welcome everyone. Jay, you're doing the opening ceremony with Susan?
I'm just a little bit of music here, musical support for her, yes.
Perfect, perfect. Welcome everyone. People are starting to join. Keep going, Jay. You keep going.
Just a little here.
Welcome everybody to Kalapa Experience Weekend, calling in a new earth. Thank you to our previous facilitator, Sydney McGarry, who really helped us start to get connected with each other and set the vibe. I'd like to introduce Susan and Jay. Jay is going to be Susan's helper today during this. And Jay is a brother from another mother. Known him for a long time. He was with me when I was dreaming up this event 10 years ago or more or longer. And Susan is a dear, dear sister and teacher and friend, and her life story is amazing. And she's just one of the most grounded, loving, compassionate, lighthearted people. And also, if enlightenment is about lightening up, you should hang out around this woman more. I'm gonna leave it there for now, and I'm so grateful to have you here, Susan, to help us get this going. So I'll just leave it with Susan.
Thank you, Alan. Thank you, Jay, for bringing us in, tuning us in with the tunes there. It's always, the magic of music is astounding. Thank you everybody for being here. And just gonna start Mie Ianskawin na abiniskim na gesugwilach. Tayan wayan chianke. Leon Beto Kilila Washdexto. This territory that we're in, the Salish Seas, and specifically like Bellingham, the Lummi and the Nooksack, I just raised my hands to all these people of the Coast Salish and across that weird thing they call the border. They're all related up there too. And so I'm just lifting my hands in gratitude to all the ancestors and to all of your ancestors, because we're all indigenous. These little bodies are indigenous to Mother Earth, but we've forgotten a lot of those things in all of our migrations and the colonization process and such the like. So just want to take that moment, and I have here a little candle, a flame going, and so I'm going to light this, and the Peta Oihankeshni, the light that never goes out, that sacred fire, and it lives within each one of us, right at the center, and it's here, lit. And if you have a candle, you can light it at any point today, and just that reminder that we're all connected. And even though we can't be up close and personal like we would have done if we weren't having the COVID thing, we still are connected, and we have that knowing, and we have that medicine. And I also have, I'm going to start the day. I've got this wand of the white sage, the stuff that mostly grows down in California, and I'm going to burn this. And as I'm burning it, they say that as quickly as the smoke rises, that's as quickly as we can let go of the things that have been getting in our way. And so as you, maybe you have your own incense or medicines to burn, and you can just know that with your awareness and your intention, you can be letting all that go up in smoke. And so each one of these medicines has a different capacity. And this one, there's a few of them that are, I consider like the deep cleanse. And this has been a year for kind of requiring deep cleansing. We've just seen so much in the outer world, and that reflects, the inner world. My medicine teacher, Mahajani, always said, yes, the outer pollution is not good, but it wouldn't be coming if we were dealing with our inner pollution. And that's the thoughts, the junk thoughts, in computer, they talk about garbage in, garbage out. And so we want to have the good stuff in there. And then when the things come up that aren't so great, we can celebrate that too and say, oh, look, I found it. I can clean it out. Like if there's been something in your kitchen and doesn't smell quite right, and you know that it's there, but you don't know what it is. And you keep looking around, and maybe something fell underneath the refrigerator, and it's a bit of work, like ours is kind of wedged in. So it's a little bit of work to get that puppy out. But once you do, and you go, oh, there's that stinky thing now. And you can celebrate that instead of saying, oh, what a loser I am. I have a stinky kitchen, and I let something fall underneath my refrigerator. Yes, I could do that, but I'd rather celebrate the fact that I found it and now I can move it out. So whatever you've got that's been kind of stinking up your inner space, just let it go up in the smoke and breathe it out, And just breathe it out and just breathe it out. So that's that for the moment. And so I introduced myself after Alan introduced me. I'm Susan Powell, Iaskoween, and I have some other names, but Iaskoween is good for now. That's White Stone Woman. And I'd just like to take a quick moment and well, I'll say also that I'm Lakota, and I'm my father's side of the family is from the British Isles, um, and West Virginia. Like they came to West Virginia, and so so that's where I'm from. And so what I'd like to do, because we're a relatively small group, I'd like to take a couple of moments and ask everybody. I'll call out your name, get my little readers on here, and just ask you to say your name, whatever name you'd like to share, and where your ancestors are from. And there's something else. And what's one thing that you're hoping to get out of our time together today? So your name, where your ancestors are from, and what's one thing you're hoping to get out of our time together today? So it won't take a long time. Okay, so I see Morrissey. Would you be willing to say something?
Hi, I'm Sharia, and my ancestors are from Western Europe and the Native American tribes.
Ari?
Hi everyone. I am Ari. I have a big name, but I take it easy from people. And my ancestors from Bangladesh, just next country of India. And here I am planning to take from here is like, I'm a very happy person, but my heart and mind is not in exactly the place where I want to see. Maybe for the COVID, I'm feeling a little lonely, or like there is a long time I'm just trying to find some answer to make my heart more stable and find some source. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. Okay, let's see, there's Paul.
Hey there.
Okay.
So my name is Paul. I also go by Peace and Festivals, and I live on Bainbridge Island, which is west of Seattle. I appreciate Amy for letting me know about this experience, and I'll be able to drop in on a couple of sessions. I feel like this time has been big for everybody in terms of reshifting life. My residential situation, my income situation, my lovers, like everything has been uprooted, and so it's a huge time for me to draw on inner strength, and that hasn't been easy. I appreciate your comments, Ari. I've found places of darkness and shadow that I never knew were there, and I also feel like I've found some glimmers of hope, and so I look for connection in this time and space.
Okay, and Martin.
Hi, so I'm Martin. Ancestors are from Germany, from Poland, maybe some other places. If you go deeper down the family tree, And why am I here? The word that comes to mind was connectedness. And while it may be connection with people, it's also another kind of connectedness, maybe with purpose and needs in general. Yeah, being part of something that matters and hopefully makes a difference in the world and connecting to people who want to do the same. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you. And let's see, Angela.
Oh, thank you. I am this lifetime Armenian on my father's side. My ancestors going through a genocide, terrible, and Italian on my mother's side. About a past lifetime East Indian, Native American. And I would like to connect with like a collaborative contacts. I'm feeling finally pretty good in myself and my self connection, and I'm wanting affinity and tribe and collaboration. I do a lot of healing work, marriage and family therapist, and multiple levels of work, and I just feel really drawn to this tribe. Oh,
Let's see, Lee, Wayfinder.
Hey, good evening, everyone. I'm in Taipei, Taiwan. So it's like 3:45 in the morning. My ancestors are French, Dutch, Slovenian, and Austrian. And I'm here because I agree that it's time to call in a new earth. And I want to do it by spending time with all of you and encouraging you to do whatever you need to do to enjoy this new earth.
Thank you. And Lawrence.
Hello. I'm so I my ancestry is Irish, German, and Dutch. I'm here primarily for technical support to help facilitate, but I'm hoping to take take something away from this experience, and so far there's some lovely people here, and I'm just aware of this. There's a transition happening. There's something big happening, so I'm kind of paying attention to that. Thank you.
Well, thank you. And Kara.
Hello. Let's see. My ancestry is, to my knowledge, I know there's Swedish, Scandinavian, some German thrown in there, and I'm sure a bunch of other stuff if we start digging deep. I am here for the two words that kept coming into my mind was connection and inspiration. So I'll be popping in and out here in between meetings today. Thanks.
Okay, David.
Hello, I'm David MacLeod. My ancestry on my father's side is from Stornoway, Scotland. On my mother's side, early United States. We've traced her family history back to supposedly or possibly an illegitimate child of Thomas Jefferson. So I am possibly related to as many as 3 U.S. presidents, including the current one. Please don't hold that against me. I'm here for connection and inspiration. I like what Kara shared.
Amy. Got you while you're drinking.
Love my water. I am Amy. I'm in Denver, Colorado. My ancestors are German, Polish, and Finnish. And in this particular session, I'm hoping for a knitting together of this community.
Thank you. And Shannon.
Hello, my name is Shannon. Ancestry wise, I am the last of the maternal line of registered Cherokee on my mother's side. I was quite a shock when I came out with this pale skin and red hair. So native on that side, and then both parent sides, Irish and Scotch. More Scottish, as we found out as I kind of dug around a little bit, but definitely got that Irish and Scotch on both sides, and then Slovakian on my grandfather's side. Honestly, I found out about this about 20 minutes ago. My chosen brother, Joshua, put it on my Discord 3 different times today, which is an indication to me that I need to I need to zoom in and be present. So I'm not really quite sure what I'm looking for yet. As Josh said, I would find some of my tribe on here. So I guess that the word connection works really well. And I already see some of my tribe members already here, so which is pretty exciting. So I kind of want to maybe elaborate on that and just really be open to whatever I'm supposed to take away from this and kind of allow my higher self to do what she does best and find that stuff for me.
Okay, Miss Tess.
Hello there. My ancestry is primarily Irish and English, with one stray Dutch grandparent. And I'm so excited to be here. I'm part of the team that's been organizing and putting this on, and I'm so happy to be in this space with all of you and contributing in this way, and for each of you to be getting whatever you get out of it and to be on this adventure together. So I'm just so happy. I don't know what else to say.
That's great. Let's see, Dawn.
Thank you, Susan. My name is Dawn, and on my father's side, I'm Barrett Indian and Finnish, and on my mother's side, I'm French, German, and Irish. And I'm just open to whatever the weekend brings. I'm so excited for all the different things we're doing.
Awesome. Thank you. Wayne.
So I'm Wayne. I'm in Gresham, Oregon, which is just next to Portland, Oregon. And my ancestry is English. I had a forefather that came on the Mayflower 400 years ago. And also, I guess I'm actually double on England. My mother's ancestry is also from England. And I am here in large part to find out what a virtual course can be like. I've been a workshop junkie much of my life for the last 20 years. And this is the first virtual course that I've attended. And I'm struggling with it, actually. I'm missing my normal ways of tuning in with other people and seeing how things are going. And I'm feeling like, I told my wife, I'm feeling like a fish out of water.
Okay, thank you. So
Well, you're very welcome, and it's great to see you, Wayne.
yeah, really good.
Thanks, Alan.
Let's see, there's a name Alan Stockbridge, but I'm wondering.
Hello, everyone. Yes, my name is Alan Stockbridge, and I live in Bellingham, Washington. My ancestors are all English except one Spanish, great-great-grandfather. And, it seems a little bit trite, but I guess that the answer to the question is why I'm here is to seek nirvana on the way towards enlightenment. And what that means to me is like seeking new knowledge, new understanding, maybe reaching different conclusions that I always have, and making new friendships and new relationships. So it's nice to be here.
Thank you. Okay, let's see, Andrew.
Hello. I go by Andy, but I couldn't figure out exactly how to change this on my phone. It's the first time doing this on a mobile platform, but I live just in Austria, in Innsbruck, Austria. So I hope that I can get to some of the events in the earlier part of the day for you guys. Ancestry goes to northern Scotland, a little bit of Irish, a little bit of Italian, a little bit of South Pacific on my dad's side, but I'm not exactly sure where in the South Pacific yet. Hoping a DNA test will clear that up in some time. Looking, like people said in the earlier part of the session, I'm looking to connect and to be inspired. I just settled down in Innsbruck in the past few months because of the pandemic, and I'm looking to inspire people here to connect to their tribe and to connect with my own tribe, create a tribe here. And I feel like every word in the invitation for this that I received actually from the Center for New Culture on the East Coast, well, at least the East Coast emailing list that I'm in, like every word of this event like connected to me in some way. So I just had to register and participate in what I could participate in based on the time difference. So thank you all for hosting and creating this wonderful event.
Andy, I renamed you too. I hope that was okay that I just went ahead and did that.
Thank you.
Okay, I've got Indigo Dawn here. That wonderful fuzzy hat.
I'm Indigo, they, them pronouns. I'm in Mount Storm, West Virginia, unceded Massawomack land. My ancestry, according to 23andMe, is I already knew the Irish, German, English, French, little bit of Czech, little bit of Native American, little bit of Ghanaian. Brought me here is I super loved I did an online new culture retreat and I loved it, and there's some part of me is like, maybe this will be like that, maybe I'll love it too. So satisfaction.
Awesome, thank you. See, Joshua.
Hello, my name is Joshua Hale. I live here in Bellingham, and my ancestry is Norwegian and Irish, and I'm sure some other stuff sprinkled in there. I am here in a supporting role. What I'm looking to get out of this weekend is to have a wonderful, successful event so that we can keep doing this year after year, continuing to grow and expand our reach and really attract, as a lighthouse, people of shared values and kind of heading in the same direction that want to make this world a better place.
Okay, let's see. So we got 2 pages. Oh my goodness, look who's there. Mr. Darling.
Hello, Ms. Powell, and everybody, all you beautiful people. I'm Jay Darling. I'm here in Bellingham, Washington, aka Lummi and Nooksack unceded territories, and love being a part of this earth here, this sweet little rock floating around in space. I'm here for support for all this beautiful goodness happening, reaching out through the ethers in this crazy year to our freaky tribe and a bunch of weirdos that and that's a compliment from me, as I've taught my children to say, when somebody calls you weird, say, hey, thanks for noticing. So yeah, and to learn everything I can, because there's some amazing people in this circle, spearheaded by sweet brother Alan there, and Tess, and all the amazing work that you folks have been doing all year long. So yeah, learning, connection, and just having some fun together, reaching out. Cheers, y'all.
Wait a minute, what about your ancestors?
Oh, thank you. Sorry. I come largely from British and English and German ancestry. And oh, here's Simon coming in for a hug. Simon's coming in to say hi to everybody too. Yep. And Susan's leading this thing. And a little bit of Hungarian also mixed in there. One little thread of Hungarian. We close the door, buddy? Great. Okay. Yes. Thank you.
Hey, thank you. Okay, let's see. Who else we have? And Burke is here. Burke.
Well, hello, Susan. Hello, everyone. Can you hear me okay from Orcas Island?
Mm-hmm.
Great. I would say, well, my ancestry, pretty simple, straightforward, 100% Irish on both sides of my family. Burke is a family name going back on both sides of my mother's and father's family lineage back in Ireland, County Cork and County Dublin, respectively. I live on Coast Salish land here, really, pretty much in Orcas and the San Juan Islands, Lummi, Coast Salish, and very grateful to live where I do. I am participating this weekend with my beautiful partner Josephine. We have a musical project called Revivify Music Project, and we are very excited to be sharing this evening at 6:30 and also on Saturday at 6:30. And it's a big leap for us. We've never done anything like this technologically, to set up our whole music zone and mic everything and run it all through Zoom and have it be available for you to listen and enjoy later. But we're very excited. And just to say, I'll be dropping in and out over the whole weekend, multitasking, but super excited to be here, super excited to be with y'all. So, yeah.
Hey, Serena.
Hi, I live in Bellingham, land of the Lummi, and I'm temporarily in Portland, land of the Whatcom, or not Whatcom, Multnomah peoples. And my ancestry is English, German, Scotch-Irish, Pennsylvania Dutch, Czech, and a number of others, plus Iroquois Nation. I am here because I am excited to connect in with a larger community of global reach that is people who self-identify as working on their own self-growth, as well as being dedicated to the growth of the world and healing of the world. So I'm excited to hear and see different perspectives and sense into the truths and realities of authentic people from everywhere.
Let's see, Cassie.
Hi, I'm Cassie. I'm here in Bellingham, Washington, and my ancestry is my mom's side of the family are Prussian, so they're from Prussia or Germany. My dad's side of the family, his mom was full Cherokee, so that makes me a quarter Cherokee, and his dad was English. So English, Cherokee, and German, and I guess the German is what came through the most, but I always say that I got my grandmother's cheekbones, so I have my Cherokee cheekbones, but in every other way, I look very German. The reason that I'm here for this weekend, this celebration, is to connect with people that and to build the tribe that I'm surrounding myself with like-minded people, and to reach out and to know and to make new connections with people that are on that same path of curiosity and growth and learning that I'm finding myself on and really enjoying. So I look forward to a weekend full of things that I'll enjoy, and connecting with people that are curious and exploring those same things and enjoying them too.
Wonderful. Thank you.
Thank you.
And Melissa.
Hey everyone, I'm Melissa, and I'm also tuning in and out multitasking as I work from home today. My ancestors, I'm actually a 5th generation Californian from the San Francisco Bay Area. And back before that, my blood ancestors come from England, Ireland, Scotland, France, and Germany, mostly. I also want to acknowledge my ideological ancestors and environmental ancestors that go beyond just the blood. And I'm here to meet needs of connection, community, exploration, learning, and just piquing my curiosity all around. So thank you.
Thank you. So let's see, Wes.
Holy mackerel, Susan, you caught me.
Good.
I'm only here for a few minutes right now. I guess the multitasking thing is the deal. I am saying hello to you guys from the traditional unceded territory of the Snuneymuxw First Nation, living here in Nanaimo in BC on Vancouver Island. And my parents, 88 years old, still alive on the southern shores of Lake Erie, where I was born, and their parents have been on Turtle Island for lots of generations back. But to get to those people who know what it is to live really close to the land, we have to go back to Germany and Wales and England. And I'm here because Alan threw a party. Alan and Tess are throwing a party. I want to be there. That's all I know.
Awesome. That's great. Well, I'm glad we caught you in one of your moments of flittering in, and thank you. And I believe that we've heard from everybody that I can see. Is there anybody that I missed? Please pipe up. Yeah, yay for parties. Okay, I think we've got it.
I don't think I went, Susan.
Oh, Alan, of course, please.
No, it's all right. I didn't know if you could see my hand when I had it up.
No, I couldn't see it.
See everyone in the gallery view.
Yeah.
Yeah, ancestry comes from England, Germany, Poland, Lithuania, Ukraine. And I'm just in love with nature and Mother Earth. And the reason this event was born is because I've been deeply concerned and worried about the alienation and the disconnect, the dissociation of humans and nature, and how we're on a collision course with nature and we're destroying our very own life support systems. And I believe that we are in the garden and we just need to open our eyes to it. And I think that we can work together in much better ways. I'm really grateful that Lee Wayfinder brought up, calling in a new earth, because I think that it's a line from a group called Sweet Honey in the Rock. Imagine what would be her surprise if she was as willing as she's able. And I'm thinking of planet Earth here. So we need to be as willing as we are able. And that's what the Kalapa curriculum grew out of this. And this is an opportunity, this event is an opportunity for us to celebrate together, for us to hang out together, for us to get to know each other better, and for us to learn from amazing presenters, for us to have fun and dance and move and really stretch the limits of this technology. And post-pandemic, we'll do it in person and online. So welcome everybody. Thank you, Susan, for facilitating this. And what I'm hoping to get out of this particular session is just, yeah, the launching of the whole event and the event overall. Yeah, I'm just really open to the potential. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you, Alan.
Hey, Susan, while you're doing that,
Mm-hmm.
Tess put something in the chat that I'll speak to, which is that we've had a group of about 10 people working for a year or longer to put on this event. And I just want to, and then some new additions more recently also helping out. So I just want to thank everybody who's here and everybody who's been helping to put this on.
Yes, and a special shout out to all of our empathy room volunteers. If something comes up for you, or if you just want to process something with someone, or you're like, oh, there's this thing I have going on with someone I live with, and maybe, you know, just a different pair of eyes would be really helpful in getting it untangled. We have all weekend, we have people who have volunteered to share their care and their presence, and I want to make sure that you all know about it and that their contributions are heard as well.
Awesome. Thank you for that. So I have something set up. Let's see. There we go. Turn this around. So not so great, but what I have is a little medicine wheel set up. And you can see there's a central rock. So here is my little medicine wheel. And we've got, I'm calling this the east, and then the south, and going up to the west, and then all the way up to the north. And so this is, in one way, like a model of the universe and a model of everything that is, and each one of us individually. I've set this up because I had, I'm Lakota on my mom's side, but I wasn't raised in that way. And I was raised by my grandmother, my dad's mom. And she was trying to make sure that I was really white. And so I never learned any of this growing up. And when I was like 19 years old, somebody gave me a book, and in the book there was this phrase, medicine wheel. And as soon, because I'd been raised as a Catholic and I'd gone into the Pentecostal thing, and I studied, you know, a lot of Hindu things and astrology and a little Buddhism and Taoism and, you know, whatever was out there that I could find that, oh, that feels, there's something in that that's for me. But as soon as I saw medicine wheel, my inner antenna just went, you know, like one of those pointer dogs, that's the thing. But, you know, it was just this little paragraph in a book. And it took me 3 years traveling 3,000 miles across the United States until I found an actual living person who could share with me about this. And so what I did was it became my priority, and I would just go wherever she was going to be that I could get to. And I ended up being part of the team that helped take care of her as she was making her transition to go across the Rainbow Bridge. So I got, you know, an extra few months up with her. But so no doubt many of you have seen just the circle with the cross through it. Some people make the cross up and down. I like to do it this way when I'm writing, so that I can make writing in the quadrants. Whereas if you go this way, then you're writing off the sides, and it just doesn't work with my sensibility. So I make my cross this way, but you do you, whatever one you want to is good. And but there's a ceremony that you can do as well besides the teachings. And I just want to say that I don't teach any culturally specific things about the medicine wheel, because the Cree medicine wheel, and there's different bands of Cree, and they have the colors go in different places than the Lakota do. And the Anishinaabe people have different colors, and people get really wrapped up in what color and what animal and what thing goes with each quadrant. And I find that that is more of a distraction than a benefit for most other people. And this is just my interesting point of view. It's different if you're from a cultural background and you need to know, like you're Cree and you weren't raised in that way, and you go and you get your gifts together and you take your tobacco and you go to your elder and you say, find an elder, and you say, I would really love to learn these things from you. Would you teach me? And then they can say yes or say no. But, for most of this blended group, you're not necessarily from a tribe that had medicine wheel teachings. And so, but they're more like global kinds of teachings that are with the medicine wheel. And so I just wanted to kind of say that up front here, because I'm definitely, the power, the potency, and the help of this ceremony has been profound. I've been doing it for almost 40 years. What? And it's made a huge difference in my life and in the lives of many people. And so I just wanted to show you that we have a medicine wheel set up here. And so what I did was I just got it set up, but I haven't done the final bit to it. And so I've got some sweetgrass here. And the sweetgrass, one of my elder sisters, Brooke Medicine Eagle, talked about how, as a human, if you're going to go out on a date, yes, maybe not now in COVID times, but at some point you've been on one or you'll go on one, and you typically you're going to have a bath or a shower, and maybe put on a little deodorant and a little fragrance of some kind. Maybe you got some essential oils you really like, or maybe you just like the smell of your shampoo or something. And so you kind of gussy yourself up. And her interesting point of view was that when you're going to be doing this work with the spirits, we can get a little stinky with our stinky thoughts, and so when we smudge, we can clear some of those stinky thoughts. And so and the sweetgrass is especially sweet. So we're inviting the medicine of the ancestors and the medicine of all the beneficial beings to come and be here. So I'm smudging our little medicine wheel right now, and just creating that invitation. Just creating that invitation so that they know that we're here and that we're asking for assistance. Because everybody, as I listen to you, and we just shared very briefly, but there are things that that everybody's carrying, and whether it's your own personal baggage or whether it's some ancestral stuff, or as the interconnected beings of oneness that we are, we're also connected with everybody else and all the things that they're experiencing. And so, for instance, if you grew up in a household where somebody was dealing with depression, your being is more attuned to the depression vibration. And so if you're within a 5-mile radius of anybody who's having depression, you're going to be aware of that even more. Does that make sense? And so, you know how the starlings fly and they just go and you know, massive quantities of birds, you know, thousands even sometimes. And they do these amazing swirling things. Well, how would that work if, you know, the Allen bird says to the Tess bird to tell the Shannon bird, to tell the Angela bird, to tell the Lawrence bird, to tell the Andy bird, to tell the Jay bird that it's time to turn right now? That we wouldn't be able to do it. It's this instantaneous knowing and interconnection. And so we're part of the earth. We're just as the birds are. And even though we have a different relationship, we still have that capacity for being tuned into each other and to be in that same ability to be in the flow together. And so I just want to invite you that if there's any moment in your past, in your present, or in your future where you're feeling especially kind of like, you know, just to ask yourself, how much of this is mine? And how much of this is me being aware of everybody else who's having this going on? Because like it's even more so right now. We've got the COVID stuff and we've got the holidays. And typically, you know, a lot of people go through a lot of stuff during the holidays because of all of the projections and the expectations and the conclusions and the ways that we can kind of separate ourselves. But we're really, you know, we are connected. And even though like I'm touching the computer screen, but you know, I bet that Amy can't tell that I'm touching her shoulder, you know, except that I just told her that I was. And so our mind can kind of put us in this separation zone. And how many of you have ever heard of the man Chief Dan George? Did you ever hear of him? He's from the Tsleil-Waututh Nation up in Vancouver, and what they call Vancouver now, more unceded Coast Salish territory. And one of his sons, Bob, we would invite him to come to gatherings. And I remember one time we were all standing in a circle holding hands, and he said, look around, just look around and see how you're all part of the circle. And everybody's like, yeah. And he said, well, the truth is you always are part of the circle, even when you can't physically be touching. The only way you cannot be part of the circle is if you take yourself out. And even then, you're really still part of the circle, but you've come to believe that you're not part of the circle. You've come to believe that you're on the outside looking in. So just that's, you know, coming up because I had an experience a couple weeks ago where I was just like, you know, I just was like, in kind of the mud of everything. And I've got lots of tools and I wasn't worried about it, but I was really aware of it. And so I asked the question, how much of this is mine? And yes, some of it's mine, but a lot of it wasn't. And, but it was like, I wanted to be in the zone of all that discomfort, to have even more empathy for all the people. Cause like I have an enjoyable other with whom I get to live. And I have a bubble that includes some children and some wonderful adults. But there's a lot of people out there that are literally alone and they don't even have a bird or a frog or a worm that they live with, you know, that they can hang out with. And so, you know, it just brought me to this space of, yes, even more empathy. And what can I do? You know, to whom can I reach out? Who's asking for, you know, it's, you know, the elders are always saying, you know, whenever you're not feeling all that, you know, turn around and look to your left and look to your right. You know, which one of your cousins is suffering also, and what can you do to lift them up a little bit? what can you do to give them support, and not to to discount or undermine your own feelings, but also that there's a medicine in that, looking to, because you can't give without receiving if you're really giving, and even if they're not receiving it very well, you've still moved the energy. And so then you can turn to your other side and look, and it's like, well, how can I keep the energy moving? We were talking earlier in here about connection and flow. And so if we just allow it to keep moving, and that saying, don't believe everything you think. Just don't believe everything you think if it's not lifting you up. If it's not lifting you up, then challenge it. Just challenge it and be willing to do that. So what I'd like to do now is, you've seen the medicine wheel, and maybe what I'll do even is, and we're going to journey with the medicine wheel. And so when you see the picture, and you probably saw it before, there's like pathways to go to the center stone, but you don't have to go from the east, from any of the cardinal directions, because every single point on the circumference, whether it's represented by a stone or not, is its own pathway to the center. And that was one of the things that just delighted me so much when I first learned about the medicine wheel, was because I was raised in all these other traditions that it's like there's only one way to get to God, and that's to go through the priest, or to go through somebody else. And for me, it was like, oh, but the Pope's got a spot on the wheel, and so do I, and so does everybody, and we're all equals on the wheel, on the circumference, on the circle. And we have an equal amount of distance, which is no distance at all, from the center. And so I was like, what? It gave me goosebumps and happy tingles all over my body just to have that. And so we're just gonna, like in the old days with my medicine teacher, we would sit on the desert floor with this huge, 50 people around this huge stone medicine wheel. And she would say, now we're going to do this. And for like a half an hour, we'd sit there with no drumming, no rattling, no nothing, just sitting. And I just came to see that's very strong and old school. And so nowadays I use drums and rattles and such like. So what you're going to do is, for this very first journey into the center, is you're just going to go and ask, what is one thing that I can receive here today in this circle, in this medicine wheel? Okay, so it's just going to be a quick little thing, like 3 minutes. And Jay's going to have a very steady beat. And then after 3 minutes, then he's going to stop drumming. And then he's going to go 1, 2, 3. And then 1, 2, 3. And he'll do that 4 times. And then he'll beat really quickly for about 30 seconds. And that's the stopping and the slow 3 beats are your signal to start coming back. And then by the end of the fast beats, then be back. Okay, so it's pretty simple. And you folks, this isn't like your first rodeo with doing different kinds of things. And so, and the other thing is, you really can't do it wrong. We kind of get ourselves a little like dodgy with stuff, but you're just at the center, or at the circumference. You go to the center, you just say, what is here for me to receive right now? And once you get that done, like if you meet a mentor, or if you meet an animal, or if you're swimming or you're flying or whatever, just enjoy the experience. and then we'll come out. And not everybody sees, but you can sense or you hear or you know, like that. Does that make sense? We're doing it like the modern, quick and dirty way, but it's all good. So we'll get started now. And Jay, thank you so much for drumming for us. And here we go. Just remember to focus on getting to the center and asking for what you can receive today. Everybody know that you're coming back now. then just take a moment and like stretch your body around. Nice deep breaths. So this is this has been a very unconventional way, and I've found that over the years I've had just as life has sped up, I used to go to conferences and they'd give me a whole day, and then I got a half a day, and then I get like an hour and a half, and then I get half an hour, and then one time I even was asked to do a presentation in 15 minutes, and so I guess it was all preparing me for, you know, these kind of moments, and these, you know, this kind of technology is pretty awesome. And obviously we have some more things to learn, but I really appreciate, Martin, you coming up with that brilliant idea to support us and having a little drum work there. So thank you for that. And I just would like to ask, and you can just popcorn up, unmute yourself, if there's anything that you can say about what it was like for you. Were you able to go from the outside to the inside and back again with the medicine wheel? Like what happened for you? So did anybody make it in? Thumbs up.
I mean, I went to a wisdom godlike place. I don't have enough of a reference point to know if that's exactly what you're asking, but that's what happened for me.
Nice. Well, and it is. It's just like whatever, because, you know, there have been people that like they'll be going and they're already inside, and then they think, oh no, I came in on a roller skateboard and that's not native. I can't go in on a skateboard, and they'll bring themselves back out. But it was exactly perfect. Like everybody does it different. So whatever your experience is, that's the thing. So thank you, Indigo, for that.
It was a good way to reflect on anything that might be even just in the imagination an obstacle to just living one's own truth, and just kind of connecting more deeply with that in order to move forward as genuinely as possible.
So we'll do another journey this time, and I'll use the rattle. And but this time, what I'm going to ask you is just take a moment now and just allow something to pop up that's an issue that you'd like to take in for healing into the medicine wheel. Now, let's not make it the biggest, horriblest thing that you've got in your whole universe, but just something, you know, just something. And just be aware of what that is. And you can always go into the medicine wheel again, so don't feel like this is your only chance in your whole lifetime to get help with this. So you can just choose, but one thing will pop up, and let it pop up, and then just kind of be with it and say, hello, little issue, I see you, I welcome you, you know, thank you for whatever you're trying to teach me, you know, kind of like I've got all my little animal helpers here. So I got this little guy, you know, and you can just imagine that your issue is like a little fuzzy friend. You may not be that friendly with it, but you can just start to try to be, you know, befriend it a bit. Not that you're inviting it to hang out with you forever, but just because usually, you know, that saying, what we resist persists. Kind of like if a child and you're in the middle of something and it comes and says, hey, I need your attention. You go, just give me a minute. It's like, hey, I need your attention. Just give me a minute. Hey, I need your attention. And so there's a lot of things in life that are like that. So if we resist it, it will persist. Where if we just turn towards it and say, okay, here you go. So whatever that little issue, and I'm not saying it in a demeaning way, but just whatever your issue was that popped up just now, I'm going to ask you that you're going to take it in with you, okay? and you're going to, but not the thing itself. It's like when the rattling starts, just allow a symbol to pop up, and don't try to figure out the right symbol right now, because it could be something that looks nothing like what you think it should do, because that's your conscious mind. But this is coming from, you know, the depths of your being and the unconscious and the subconscious, the realm of archetypes. And so that realm speaks a different language than our normal day-to-day language. Does that make sense? So don't try to figure out your symbol of what you're going to take. But what's going to happen is there's in the circle of the medicine wheel, there's a smaller circle inside of it. Okay, and then there's the main stone in the center. That's the stone that represents the everywhere spirit, or the creator, or however you want to call it. Actually, I've got this guy here. I just remembered I got this guy. Okay, so on the outside, you know, which is where we are, wherever you're starting from, you're going to be here, and then you're going to take your issue. Let's say it's a hedgehog, and you're going to take that issue and you're going to put it on the center stone in the middle. Okay, and then you're going to get out of there, because this is the operating room. And so unless you're personally on the table, you can't be there. You got to go to the waiting room. And this out here, this section out here, this is the waiting room. Okay, so you've got the inner circle, the sanctum sanctorum, and then the outer waiting room. Okay, and so you can do whatever you want to here. If you've got a you know, a floaty mattress that you can float on water, or you can take a nap in the meadow, or you can, you know, whatever's there for you, you can just do that and be hanging out here while the operation is going on in here. So then once I stop the rattling, and then I start doing the 3 rattles 4 times, that's when you go back into the center, and you go and you see, like, well, now what's there? And maybe instead of a hedgehog, it's a moose. And so then you bring the moose back out with you. Okay. And even sometimes people will say, well, I took the hedgehog in, but when I went to pick it up, it was still the hedgehog. And I'll say, yeah, but something about that hedgehog has changed. So you still have to bring it back. Okay, because you want to come back with what's ever been transformed. And all I can say is you got to have a little faith that is so, and that, because I've done this a lot of times with a lot of people, and they want to fight me about it. And I just say, come on now, be honest. And they go, well, yeah, actually, when I look at it again, the hedgehog now has pink fur or something. You know, it's like something's different. It's still whatever it is, but it's different. Okay, so you're going to go from the outside. You're going to take your little hedgehog in from whichever way you come, leave him there in the center, and then the creators and the creative energy is going to work on it while you're out here taking a nap or running laps or whatever it is you do. You can stay in one spot or whatever, and then when the rattle changes, then it's time to bring your little hedger back out. Hey, feisty people. Okay, so any questions? Okay, cool. So we're gonna get started in a moment, but first I'm just gonna ask you to move your body a little bit here. Whatever works for you, just shake it around. Shake yourself in your seat. And yeah, just be aware of whatever it is that you've got with you that you're going to take to the center now. And I'll start rattling. In a second here. Deep breath. Here we go. I'd just like to invite you to breathe nice and deep and move your arms and your body around a little bit here and there. Just come back into this room and this space. And I'll just start. Like I had the particular issue that I had showed up as like a big honking lump of coal, kind of heavy and dense and not very nice, you know. And so I took it to the center and I left it there, and I ended up swimming. And the thing that I noticed in my swimming was like if you go to a pool, you have to watch out for other people or hitting the wall or getting out of your lane or such like. But there was so much space where I was swimming that I could do the backstroke and not be concerned about where I was going to end up or whack into anything or anybody. So that was a very liberating kind of feeling. And then when it was time to come back, the coal thing had transmogrified, and it was kind of like a bowl shaped sort of something. And so I'll have to investigate that more, but I brought that back out, and so that's what I'm sitting with. So does anybody else have anything that they can say about what that was like for them?
I didn't get too much of the symbolic elements in mine, but I did bring in kind of just like a kind of a hesitation that prevents connection, and what came out of that is a slowness and a presence.
For me, I was in like a grassy clearing and I put like a little cabin house at the center, and I'm feeling pretty tired, and that translated in. So I just chilled. I sort of like daydreamed. And there's this thing of like, I'll know the right choice. I'll know. And to let it arise. If I haven't found the right choice, I haven't found the right choice. And to trust that if I keep searching, it will come. And that was a daydream. And then I went back in, and suddenly it was this like pyramid, and it was made. It had like gold or silver, maybe both filaments inside, and it's kind of like dark blue. And I don't know what that's about, but that's what my little cabin house turned into.
Cool. Yep. Thank you. Yeah, that's what I mean about the, working in the realm with where the archetypes come from, is that we never really know what those symbols are from this mind, but it'll be fun for you, Indigo, as you go along, just to see what pops up. It might be tonight or tomorrow or 10 weeks from now. You just never know. But yeah, it's fun. Anybody else have something they'd like to say? You don't have to, but you could.
I'm feeling a lot of gratitude for everything you're doing, Susan. And at some point, the same thing, the sound started to block out the rattle, and I couldn't hear the rattle. I could just see you. And then I decided, I texted you actually, and then I was like, she's in the middle of journeying. And then I let it go, and then was just taking in everybody and the event and all the things, and just feeling a lot of gratitude. And so, yeah, that was part of my experience.
Nice. Thank you, Alan. Maybe I'll just rattle a little softer this time, next time here. It's good to know. Okay, so as we're, does everybody have something to write on? Yeah, or
If we don't, you'd like us to get it real quick?
yeah, let's just take a minute and grab a little something there.
Wait, what are we grabbing?
A piece of paper.
Something to write on.
Pencil, something to write on.
If we're already on a laptop, we can take notes digitally, or does it need to be paper and pencil?
It's better to be paper. Yeah.
Okay, got it.
Yeah. I mean, you can, but it's just not the same.
We can hear your phone really well, by the way. So if that goes off, off the silent rattling,
yeah,
people may be shocked. People may be shocked.
Not fair.
Maybe good to mute it.
Well, it's on airplane mode and everything. It's all the way, you know. Yes.
I have an idea for maybe why it wasn't picking up if you want to hear, and if not, cool.
Yeah, totally. I'm always love learning.
Some, especially laptop microphones, are directional. So maybe holding it up like in direct the center of the line of view of the camera.
Okay.
It might pick up better.
Okay, good. That's good information. Thank you.
Or wherever your microphone is.
Okay. Okay, great. And yeah, so I just, Martin, thanks for your suggestion. And I went in and I turned off my cellular data because it was on. I was kind of confused because I had it on airplane mode, but the phone was still ringing in. So there you have it. It shouldn't do it again, one hopes. Okay, so what you're going to do with your, I'd like you to take your piece of paper and draw a circle and then make the crisscross through it, or whichever way you want, this way or that way. And then for wherever you want to start, put a P for physical, and then go to the next quadrant, and E for emotions, and then M for mind, and S for spirit. And it's still all one thing, but we talk about them separate, just for convenience. And I'd like you to just do it, quick, right off the top of your head. What's one thing for your physical that you want to leave behind as solstice approaches, And again, don't make it a big, huge thing, monumental, but just some little something that you want to leave behind. And then when you have that, move on to the emotions. What's something, again, not a huge, huge thing, but just something.
Could you say that last prompt again, Susan? What are we doing in the emotions quadrant?
It's the same thing. What do you want to leave behind? Yeah.
Thank you.
Some little something, you bet. Thanks for asking. And then once you have that, then what's something you've been doing with your mind that you'd like to let go of, that you're going to choose to let go of. And then once you have that, then again, move to the spirit spot. And what's something that you want to let go there? So can't see everybody, but are you feeling like you're complete with that, the writing bit? I'm seeing some people's faces there. So that's good. So, and fear not if you didn't get it completely, completed and written down, it's fine. Because energy is smart. It knows what's in your mind. But you're going to have this piece of paper, and we're going to do another journey. And this time, you're going to take these things in. So and just energetically leave that piece of paper on the center stone, and then we'll do that. And this one will be a little bit quicker, just because we can. And but you'll still have a couple minutes to just kind of kick it in the waiting room there. And so just remember, you're going to go from wherever you are, go and put your paper symbolically on the stone, and then step back and hang out in the waiting room, and hopefully enjoy the sound of the rattle. And then it'll be time to come back. Okay, so have a nice deep breath and see how long and strong you can have your spine. And we'll get started. Just remember to focus on getting to the center and asking for what you can receive today.
I saw a deer and I
Oh,
went towards the deer. It was a doe. And I cuddled with the doe. And I like briefly like merged thoughts a little bit with the deer, with the doe. And then suddenly, it was sunny out, and then the stars started moving really quickly. It was like time was passing really quickly, and I was like, what's going on? What's time? And the doe was like, time? And didn't know what I was talking about. And eventually it was snowing and cold, and my body started to be like, no, the cold. And then the deer was like, I'll keep you warm. And then I snuggled with the deer, and then the stars moved more and more and more, and then it came back to the grass. And I was like, this is for you to eat. And it was sunny.
sweet.
And then the paper at the middle became like made of stone and more like a scroll.
Cool. Yeah, you just never know what's going to happen in the middle there. So mine, I took in, a piece of paper, and then when I went back for it, it was in the shape of an origami butterfly. It's like, oh, and then it wanted to fly. It's like, okay, good, thank you. So on that note, we're coming to the end of our clock time together. But as the deer would say, what time? What's that? Because there's only the now. But in this particular now, we've got to get ready for moving on to the next thing. And so the very last journey that we'll do together is just imagine, be in your world, and look in your world, and look at what you're really grateful for that is of the earth. So for some people that's trees, and for other people it's water or fish or deer or any of the animals, like whatever that is for you. And perhaps I didn't even name the thing that comes up for you, but just be aware of it. And then when and this time I'll just clap. But as I do that, just whatever symbol of that thing is, just take it and put it into the center. And this time you don't have to bring anything back, because it's just you're giving your gratitude. And if there is something there to bring back, that's fine. But just see what happens when you take this gratitude and this symbol into the center. Okay? So here we go. And again, just breathe and kind of move your body for a little minute, little moment here. And this is going to be a super quickie. But here we go. Thank you for the message, Martin. So when you're moving forward, and just know that every drop of gratitude that you can give to the earth, you know, whether you're a hands putting down on the earth itself, or you know, getting barefoot even in the cold times, and just like 10 seconds, you know, just say, hey mom, I'm here. Like every drop of that is so huge, because our mother is just under the weight of so much foolishness that our minds have created, and not yours and mine specifically, but you know, the human mind. And so we can do our part by giving that gratitude to her, so that she, you know, can just know that we see her, and that we love her, and that the other ones, you know, they've just kind of forgotten. And so, you know, I just really want to put that out there, that you, you know, have gratitude for yourself, for your body that's a gift from the earth, and all of the magic that you be, and that in as part of the closing ceremony, I have these little magical papers that that I'll burn, and so I'll have a little process around that later. But just be aware of like, what is it that I really, really, really want to let go of as I'm coming to the end of 2020 and moving into 2021, and not from a place of like making yourself bad or wrong, but just of like, I want to be free. You know, just like when you clean out your closet and you just go, oh wow, that feels so good. You know, I love that feeling, and so it's a gift that you can give yourself, and by lightening up your load of whatever that is, it really is a gift to the planet, and that energy can go out like in every direction and touch everyone, and then come back to you with that blessing as well. And so, because you know, the earth and the universe are the great recyclers, and so if we can really move that energy out of ourselves and give it back, just like we did in the medicine wheel here, then that energy can be recycled and made into something that's actually going to be fun, and you know, a greater contribution towards you know, where we want to go in you know, together, as we're hurtling through space on this beautiful, beautiful, amazing orb of living magic. So I just want to say thank you. Pilama Yaye, Lila Pilama Yaye, Nipakweapi. And I'm really grateful that you're here. And I look forward to seeing how it all unfolds with the rest of our time together over the next few days. And yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Susan.